Alright, so today I want to talk about the supers and ability stuff that's changing and coming in final shape. And I believe if Bungie actually did this, a lot of people would enjoy this and be really happy about it. So if you don't know, we're getting a new Arc Super for the Hunter, which I kind of think was a missed opportunity to get like a Bubble Well variant for Arc. I believe they should have done that personally because that's the biggest thing. It's like Well is Solar for Warlock, Bubble is Void for Titan. I think we should have gotten an Arc one. I'm really disappointed we didn't, but I feel like that's what's missing for Hunters. We don't have some sort of bubble or well, and I feel like we should have one, and it should be in the Arc slot. My opinion, you don't have to agree with it, that's my opinion. Now, something I believe people will enjoy, is you do the Final Shape campaign, right? You get the new supers unlocked, the new fragments, however it is, right? Then, when you go in, beat the witness or whatever it is, then the raid comes out, we fight him again, and then supposedly there's a mission at the end of it all that where we actually defeat him, so everyone can experience it. That's how they said it, which I assume means there'll be a mission free for all, free to play and everything for everyone. I don't know, we're not sure what they mean by that yet, but I say that should happen, right? The moment we defeat the witness, right, the moment we defeat him, a new quest should pop up for stasis and strand abilities, right? Right off the bat, instantly. He's dead. We get some sort of quest for an exotic, some cool-ass exotic weapon. It'd be cool if it was like a scythe. I think it'd be really cool if we got a scythe from it when we kill him. We get this giant scythe we can run around and be an exotic weapon. In my opinion, I think we should have a scythe. Still want one. I want an actual scythe, not those ones they keep bringing out. I want the actual weapon scythe you can equip on you at any point. Just my opinion. But anyways, I think what would happen is the moment we kill him, right, we get a quest for abilities. For strand stasis. The first part of the quest can be stasis or strand, doesn't matter which order. But basically, we go through, we do the quest, we then unlock new fragments, aspects, and supers, as well as, it could be other abilities, or it could just be 100% needs to be super. I agree with Bungie when they say, when we defeat, or when we are inside the Traveler, we're getting new light abilities. I agree with that. Now, mind you, we're not getting much of anything, in a sense. We're only getting a super and an aspect. Nothing else. No other new abilities. No fragments. No grenades. No melees. I mean, there could be, but as far as we know, there's nothing other than one aspect and one super. In my opinion, really bad move. There should be more than that. But let's say I agree. I do agree with them. Fine. We're in the Traveler. Traveler's bonusing our powers, boosting us even more. Cool. I get it. I agree with that. But the moment we killed the witness, the Hive are all about power for power, right? You defeat your enemy, you gain their power. Well, the witness is the same way in a sense, because we're Hive now. We're linked to the Hive and stuff because of what Eris did to us, in my opinion. So the moment we kill the witness, officially, we should gain his power. And in my opinion, that's what should happen. We gain his power, and when we do that, we get new stuff to unlock for the supers of Strand and stasis. I want more than just supers, but it'd be nice to at least get one extra super for each. For Strand, right, depending on the subclass. So, like, for Hunter, right, we got Silk Strike here. We get a damage super. Or, not damage super, sorry, a one-off super. It's a Strand effect. It's like a... Because this thing uses rope and stuff, right? You throw it like a ball and chain in the center of an arena, and it spins around and hits everything. And it can, like, track and stuff. Or it could just sit there. It basically like the stasis one, right? So it does that. And then the Warlock one has the one and done super. So instead they get a roaming super, right? But the roaming super is like threadlings. They run around, they can throw threadlings here and there. Like throw a wave of threadlings just once in a while, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Like wave of threadlings. Then the Titan, right? It's got the melee of roaming super. So instead of that, it has a one-off super where it basically takes the giant melee and slams it at the ground. So like a fist attack slam, but when it slams the ground, a whole bunch of threadlings come out or something. Or it's like a shockwave of Strand that like goes out and like tangles people and stuff. It does damage and holds them in the air. If they're in a super, they'll survive it, but they'll be hung in the air and they can't move, right? It suspends them. Or it like the shockwave, right? You just slam that into the ground. It'd be really cool for like opponent for like bubble stuff. Just slam it into a bubble and just everyone dies, right? That'd be really cool. But it has like a strand effect, right? So it does strand stuff with it. It's not just a one and done thing. It's strand effects, which would be really cool. And like I said, it's not perfect. And you should be able to throw it, I feel like. The melee shouldn't just be slamming the ground. It should be like a big melee claw, right, that comes off the Titan. You like rip it off and throw it. And when you throw it, it blows up and suspends everything or something. Like, or some crazy thing like that. Like I said, the Warlock one has like where they can run around just throwing threadlings around, like whoosh, 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 couple threadlings at a time, just like strong threadlings though, so they kill. So like how the stasis super works. That'd be really cool. And then the hunters, like I said, because it's like a ball and chain type thing for this. Well, it's a, I forget what they call the weapon, but it's a knife at the end of string. You throw it on the ground and it like spins in a circle or something. And it could track or it just sits there and spins. I don't know. Like, it'd be cool to track, but I doubt they would do that. And then for stasis, right? So hunter stasis, we've got, what is it called? Silence and Squall, right? It's a one-off super, right? You throw it and it does its spin, and it does travel a bit, so it is a traveling super, but it's a roaming one, but it's a one-off, right? It goes pretty quick. So have it where you hold both of them in your hand, and then you run around slowing people. If you hit them with the freeze, it'll like kill them instantly. But then if you hit them with the slow, if they're in super, it'll survive but slow them down, right? Or something like that. Like, you just run around with both of them hitting people with it. Or you basically combine it together into one thing, and you run around just stabbing people, right? Like, kind of like how the new Arc one will work, where it teleports you, except it'll be a slow thing. You teleport to them, slow them, or something. Like, you know, like they could make it where it's a traveling one, where you can run around doing stuff with just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And you could slow and freeze people constantly. It's like slashes, it's like spectral slashes, but with slow and freeze together. Which obviously, if someone's in a super, they can survive it. But if they're not in a super, they'll die to it, right? Just like basically how it works now. A well will survive the slash from the slow, but the freeze part will like hit them and actually kill them or damage them, and you could like spam it or something. And because there'll be damage for each one instead of just slow, and freeze will be doing massive damage too. You know, something like that. I don't know, something like that. And the Warlock one, like, so I think the Warlock one, the best one would be a giant ice ball. So like how it has the melee throw, right, with the super as well as its normal melee. Imagine like a big one of those, and you throw it, and it just rams into something, and just massive wave of freezing, right? Shatters everything. If you sit in a super, you'll survive barely. You know, something cool like that. I think that'd be cool. And yes, I know the Warlock stasis is very broken right now. Trust me, I understand it's still very broken. I think with some nerfs and buffs to other ones, they can balance it out better. And if they do, I feel like that's what should be. Then the Titan one, it's the slam down, right? It's a giant slam stasis. I think it should have basically like a giant wall it produces, right? But when it hits the ground with the wall, it like blocks everything off, and it's a super. So if you run into it or they shatter it, it'll just explode, right? When it explodes, it sends shards everywhere, and those shards then cause small shards everywhere to form, and those small shards you can then shatter as well. So it basically creates like a big wall that you shatter, throws things everywhere, kills anyone close to it within like, I don't know, like 7 meters probably, kills them instantly or takes most of their health, they survive, but then it causes little shatter things. And then, like, on the person, if one of those little things hit them, it'll cause them to have a little crystal on that sticks to them. And if the Titan runs into, if they have the slide thing on, it will shatter instantly. Or if they have a melee you or something or shoot you, you'll shatter, right? So you got little, like, pieces of it in you for a one-off super. So, but then it, like, spreads a bit, so it's kind of like Squall, where it can spread and move and do other things. I think that'd be really cool. And that's what happens, like, the moment the witness dies. We absorb his power, we start learning. And the quest is, like, learning how to harness these powers and create new things. And then we get, like, new effects as well, like, new aspects and stuff for Strand, as well as stasis. Like, this is what I believe Bungie should do to make people really like it. And I believe 100% we should get more, we should get a new melee, new grenade, and new fragments as well for the light abilities. But then that year, like the next year after Final Shape, all the chapters and stuff could be like us unlocking new abilities for our stuff. And then it leads into a quest line that pushes us into a effect, right? For the next super, whatever it is, right? The brand new super. The brand new one that comes out. Whatever the new thing will be, the new element, right? And that's what it does. It's because the darkness we've absorbed and we're learning to harness it over the year, that year, and then we get better and we create new stuff, new fragments, new aspects, a couple new supers for each, or like 1 or 2 for each darkness ability over that year. And that final chapter, right when it's about to end, we realize we can harness a new power, and then we go somewhere to harness that new power, and then that's where it cuts us off, is when we're heading to that place. And then boom, next big DLC, here's the new element, here's what you gotta do to get it, this is what's going on, holy cow, new enemy race, or new crazy new thing, and like here comes the Vex or something, like crazy things happen, right? Just like boom, 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 boom. Because that's what Bungie says. They want the next year after us to basically be the after effects of what happened and what's next. It'll build up to what the new saga will be, if they actually decide to make a new saga. Well, we still are on the fence about what's really going to happen there. But, like, that'd be really cool. It's like, bang, bomb, psh, here's a new super, here's another new super, here's some fragments, here's some aspects, here's a nade, here's a melee. Like, they could be going crazy. We could get, like, for Strand, we could get, instead of this thing, like, this thing sucks sometimes, and sometimes it's great. It really just depends on the situation. We get, like, a melee where it's like a threadling, right? You melee out a threadling, but it's a threadling that hits directly, and on direct impact, takes half their health or all their health or something. Just absolutely, just cause, like, a little shatter effect of threadlings. Like, that'd be so cool. So then you could run, like, threadling builds, like double threadling builds, melee and grenade for Hunter. The Warlock one has those little things it throws, right? So instead of throwing those little ones, they'll throw like a big one that will do like massive damage and take a lot of your health at once. But like you have to charge it for a second, kind of like how the Titans one works, right? You throw it then and then it just does a whole bunch of damage. And then the Titans one, right? It's a little melee hook. Instead of doing the melee thing, it throws out like a melee, one of its melee spikes out. Just throws it straight into you. And it's just like massive damage. And then it has like a little thing on it. And it charges. And if someone shoots you on you, it like explodes. Like explosion of threadlings or explosion of like, I don't know, there's little nanite things that come out for stasis, right? I forget what they're called. What those little nanites are. Like, you throw one of the little unravel things, right? During and life grappling, your melee attack deals area damage and unravels targets. That little thing, they like put out those little nanites, right? Those in their chest, it's stuck in their chest, and then it charges up with damage, more damage until either it disappears in a few seconds, or you build enough damage where it will shatter into a whole bunch of unraveling little nanites that attack you constantly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be so cool for the Titan or Hunter, even the Warlock, any of them get it like that. I feel like the Warlock should be a threadling one, honestly. But at the same time, I don't really think that, because Warlocks are more threadling built anyway, so I feel like the Hunter should get more threadling options. I know it might seem weird, but could you imagine you throw a melee at someone, a direct hit will spawn like 2 threadlings or something, or 3 threadlings on a Guardian. Then those threadlings can attack, and it can do more damage. It won't one-tap you, but it'll get you down to like a quarter or something. And then like if you throw it on the ground or something, it'll explode. Like, that's what it should be. It's like an explosive thing. You throw it on, someone explodes and makes little nanites, but if you throw it on the ground, it'll spawn some more threadlings. Then you can like do a threadling combo and make the Hunter more threadling bound. And yes, I'm aware of the threadling builds that are currently right now, if you're not in Crucible, equipped to this threaded specter and equipped threadling grenades, and equipped this, and then equipped this, and it's absolute chaos. Trust me, I understand, I've been through it, it's chaos, but I feel like they're going to nerf that soon, and it's going to make Hunters less threadling oriented. Where Warlocks seem to be more threadling oriented anyways, because they are so easy to get threadling, so much stuff gets them threadling super easily. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Bungie has so much area they could work with here, and it's the final shape. Like, it's the final DLC for this saga. It needs to be big. It needs to be over-delivered. Like, I know Bungie's like, we can't over-deliver. No, this is where you do over-deliver. This is where you just bring out a ton of shit, tons of abilities, tons of new stuff, crazy new mechanics, crazy new weapons that just blow your socks off, that are so broken, it's like, what the fuck? That needs to be nerfed to shit. And then they nerf it eventually, and they bring it down a little, so it's really good still. Like, this is the DLC. It needs to be flipping insane. Like, my mind needs to explode. Like, I need to go insane. Like, I have to be like, oh my god, that was the best shit I've ever seen. And now they're gonna get more months at it, so this is what should happen. Bungie, do this to your abilities. Make cooler stuff. People will love it. I promise you, even if it's broken as hell, people will love it. We'll dial it back down later on. You can make it better. People will love the creativity. They'll love the insanity. They'll love the new ideals for it. Be insane, be creative, don't be scared. We can make these abilities so much cooler. It's so easy too, and it's so much fun. Might be a little harder on the programming, don't get me wrong, but it's easy to find ideals that can make it really good. As I have to say, that's the video. I think a lot of these abilities should come true in one form or another. I think this is what Bungie needs to do to make this game insane for Final Shake, for ability-wise. My opinion on it, just saying, hopefully Bungie sees this. Hopefully somebody can show it to Bungie, or at least talk to him about it or something. Like, Bungie, be creative. Make some cool-ass abilities. Make darkness and light. You can do it. I believe in you. This can be dope. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Leave a comment what you think. If something's too overpowered or not powerful enough, let me know. Wish y'all a good day. Adios. I'm out.